All right. This is my 58th video. Uh, I I'm deciding to make as many videos as I can. All right. My manipulation are crazy. And these people are becoming less and less smooth, but at the same time, I'm becoming more and more broken down. Right. Not only physically but psychologically. Uh, in this video, I just kind of want to talk about, and please bear with me. I'm gonna try to be as articulate as I can, understanding that it's not gonna be easy for me. Uh, as I mentioned before, speaking is no longer the same way, and it's hard for me to communicate in comparison to before. It's hard for me to come up with the right words sometimes. Now, in this video, I just want to talk about how they can try to force you to have this back and forth, right? What I mean by this back and forth is they try to get you to have this like it's a type of mental torture for sure, but they are trying to they create a a in dialogues in your mind to try to get you to stress you out in a sense, but and try to create the narrative they want to create, but it's just nonsensical. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example, and please understand that the example is just the concept of those kind of mental torture. At least I think they've tried all different. They have different fashion to do the mental torture. One of them is creating those forced dialogues that are meant to get you to be back and forth in your brain. Now, as I'm saying that, because these people want me to identify with this nonsensicalness, they are telling me how I'm gonna die, how I'm dying, that's and tell me all the horrible things I'm going to experience. The reason they're saying that is because they want me to not be able to express what they're doing. Matter of fact, I woke up about it's very early, it's about 6 in the morning. Somebody here knew I was going to make the video, opens the door, and she tried to say something to interrupt that. As I'm saying that, they're trying to change subject in many ways, right? And that's because they really do want you to identify and make sense of this nonsensicalness. So as they try to change the subject and tell me about other things, or try to make me think of something else, and also think about the torture and torment, this is what I want to make this video about. And FYI, guys, remember the people who talking to you are people who are so nasty and disgusting and cowardly, but also involved in doing the worst things to the most vulnerable people. So understand that, and so stay focused, because I think this is a tactic of gaslighting, diversion, changing subject while you try to maintain reality. So it's uh, an example is this person. So it's just so random. I'm listening to a podcast. In this podcast, they start talking about somebody, and there's this individual they were trying to they create a narrative and mention and create a new storyline, right? Because they don't have no shame. They will create something else, and as bluntly and obvious that this is false, they will make you want to they will make you like annoy you and try to get you to accept this nonsensical, and really have people around you make noise campaigns about it. There's one specific person, right? Uh, her name is she's like a she was an back in the days when she was much younger. She was in Dr. Phil. Her name was Bad Baby. I think everybody knows her, but catch me outside. And I remember seeing her. She's always been to me, at least, and I found out that this is actually the other way. She's always been an annoying, and like, listen, for me, she was quite annoying but entertaining. I always found her entertaining but annoying. They are trying to make me see her in this sexual way, right? Uh, they're trying to They try to make me see her in this sexual way, and it's not true. It's not it's not it's something they're trying to make me imagine her. They really are trying because she was a teenager, or she's still a teenager, but she was a really young. She's a kid, but she was such a. I'm trying to watch my words. I don't wanna. I do not want to insult her, put her down. But let's just say that I find her. I did find her kind of annoying, just a little like a little kid. But because they try to create this persona of Roy Moore, they try to do this theater of a persona. They try to change the subject. Now, even today, this person to me is still kind of annoying. And she's an adult, but very young. And now she's apparently like a sex symbol. She's not. She's very weird. Like, I'm not here to down to insult anybody. But let's just say, even today, as the very young adult she is, I could not even find her stimulating naturally. But now they're gonna manipulate me. They can manipulate my thoughts and my perception. But before that is even worse. She was. I always found that like this little kid is just kind of annoying, even though she's entertaining. She's kind of entertaining. She's like an entertaining person, but an annoying person. They were trying to make me imagine her in a sexual way, try to create these memories in a different fashion. They would do all these things, and then the neighbors would come and make their noise campaign. The perps, I should say, would come and make the noise campaign. They would say, "Oh, bad baby," and of course, this is something they're creating. Now they can make me do feel differently and create different memories of people. So of course, because I've always, and I'm very confident about that, even though my memory of this is now changed to a sexual version of it, because they have the ability to manipulate this. But it's like this is catch me outside person. Like come, like in no way in my life I ever thought of her in any sexual way, and they'll try to find a way to create, But you see, maybe like try to find ways to make me think that there was a moment of me looking at her in a sexual way. Now I'm saying that right, there's perps outside. Their job is to counter what I'm saying. So and they say things like keep lying, keep lying. You know how childlike gaslighting this thing is? Because apparently I'm lying, they tell the truth. This is somebody that the bad baby. Now, in my mind, they try to change it into something else. That's what they do. And they try to make me see her and imagine her in a sexual way. They will try to have these weird dialogues of, okay, you might not see her, but did you? I want like really forcing memories of to implant a sense of like interest or finding her. None of that. This is what they're creating now. So, so after obviously having this like back and forth, they understood like you can never tell me that Bad Baby is somebody that I could ever imagine myself naturally in any way sexually. They try to create different versions. Like, did you maybe think that, or maybe she could be becoming like, no, never. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But it's what they try to do. Um, so what they're doing now, and to tell my target individual, I know this is very specific, but I'm trying to say how they try to mental torture you in different fashion, creating dialogues. They're not trying to make me imagine. Uh, um, create dialogues. Not too long ago, I was scrolling down, and there's this old interview with her. Let's just say, and it was old interview of her. And I know this podcaster, and I see the whole new setting is different. Like and so I'm listening to her talking, and they try to make me like be into her again. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could never. This is never gonna be natural. They now they made me look at her in a more sexual way. try to make me look at her in a sexual way and try to create this perception when in reality this little kid would do nothing to me. But now because perceptions are manipulated in a sexual way, they can make you see things in a different sexual way. I mean, they've done it to little kids, so very little. It's disgusting, but that's what I expect. So they try to stress me out about that, and I was like, "Oh, this is not natural." Yes, now this is the perception you make me have. This is what you try to make me have. This little kid will do nothing to me. She will do nothing to me. She will do nothing to me even today as an adult, because now apparently she has the only fan, and she apparently a lot of people like, it's just, to me she's still like a little kid looking. She doesn't look womanly. She does not. And they want me to look at her in a sexual way. So now it is disgusting. What's happening is I'm laying in bed. That's when they start doing their manipulations. Even man right now they're doing so much to try to cover up what I'm gonna say. I'm in bed, and they start talking about her somehow, and they start playing with my genital. Initially, just start playing my genitals. It's just disgusting. It was obvious as ever. Then what they start doing is like, okay, remember that snippet of an interview, the interview you saw that looked like, that like, how old did you think she was on in this thing, right? And now, like, and it's like, how old is this interview? And I'm not, my for some reason my brain, my memory of it, it's like, whoa, what, like, what's the memory? Like, I couldn't remember exactly. Like, I remember moments of when I saw that snippet. I remember when she was talking about a boyfriend or some type, and like she sounds so much like a child. Like she sounds like a little kid, like a teenage little kid. And I'm like, I'm not sure, but I remember when she was talking about this boyfriend, this celebrity boyfriend, and how she sounded like a child. It's like, it was like a kid. It's like, oh my gosh. And what they're trying to do is, they're like, so how old is this interview? And I swear, my memory is kind of blurry a little bit. They're mixing things together, and I do have this thing where I have reality checks, right? Reality checks are ways to try to put things in perspective. I make this reality check, and I mean, and I say, in this reality check, these people are trying to manipulate me. They try to go back to this moment. They try to and go try to go back to bad baby and try to create their narrative, and they have a narration of me funding this kid sexually, uh, but at the same time, not because this is not going to happen. I'm never going to subscribe to that. They try to make me ask me how old was this interview, and my memory of it is just very blurry. It's just not. I'm not exactly recalling. I think it's old. I don't think I said it. It's like I don't remember. But all I remember is she was just. It just confirmed that this little kid will do nothing to me. I'm not exactly sure. And the reason why they're asking is because they're like, was she an adult? Like that's the question they're trying to actually ask. Is she an adult in this interview or not? Right? And I was like, I don't remember when this video was made, but I remember hearing her talk, and it was just like annoying and sounded so childlike. And so they will try to do this back and forth, right? And I'm like, I don't, like, my brain right now is just, my memory is just, and but the memory they will try to create is like they will try to make her a little older in those memory. So I was like, you know what? Let me go look at this video again. I look at it. It's like a 4 year old video. So she was definitely like still a teenager, like 16, 17 year old. And so I But it's crazy. I saw something else where you can see a tattoo on the arm, but it's not in the interview. Then my mind is started creating this like in memory, because I was like, okay, yes, she was definitely an underage kid, and and they're like trying to get this argument in my brain. It's like, did you think she was an underage kid? It's like, yes. And but it's like, did you at one point say she's an underage? Because what happened is when I saw this video, I was like, oh my gosh, look at this kid. Look at this kid. Look at what is he doing now? And they're like, did you specifically because I can say that to like an 18-year-old too, right? So they're like, did you specifically said she was an underage? Like, it's not even about like try to get a dialogue, a battle in your brain. That's how they make you lose your stuff. Because this kid will not do anything, especially in this interview. Like, oh my gosh, this little kid, what the? And now in my brain, they're trying to create different back and forth these battles that they've manufactured initially because there was a tattoo at some point. They're like, oh, maybe because she has a tattoo, you might have thought that she's an adult. The tattoo, right? And they make me imagine the whole version. The tattoo is not even visible in this interview. But they were trying to make me imagine because they want me to think at that moment when I was watching this, I thought she was an adult. And that's the argument. That's the battle here. And so they will try to use the tattoo. Look at the video, there's no tattoo. Now, there's a now she has to work done, right? And I talked about it like I remember saying now she even has like she has she has like surgery, plastic surgery done to her. And they're like, you see, maybe you thought that she had plastic surgery. It's like, no, 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 no. She looked very much like a teenage kid there. It's like it looked like it's definitely not pre it looked like she looked just she still looked like her. She doesn't look like the only fan star that she is. But they try to make me imagine. No, no, no. You see, look at her breasts. They kind of to try to create some storyline. So what I'm just trying to say, and there's people outside. They are no, they are no, they are. It's like, listen, the video is there. This is what you try to create in my mind to create the memory. And the goal, right? The reason why they're doing this is because they want me to think that when I was listening to her talking, I thought she was an adult. And now that they create versions of this memory, making me imagine her being so desperate. Now they put like the age that she has today. Then, mind you, this video is obvious as an old video. The guy, the host, has no hair. He's new. He's in the new uh like he's in an old building and doing his podcast. I've been following him. He hasn't been in this place for a long time. Everything shows that this is old, but they're trying to give me a perspective of her today. It's obvious. It's her when she's like 16, 17. It's around that time. But why this is happening? So let me just break it down to why they're doing this. One, they try to create this portrayal of me being a pedophile, right? And so they're gonna try to find ways to create this because I'm not interested in bad baby. Now what they're trying to do is, oh no, but okay, did you think that she was like, did you find her stimulating? Sorry, did you find her? Sorry, did you think that she was um did you think she was 18 or just, and this is because they're like, did you guess the age right? It's not even about like the interest in her. Did you guess the age right? This is what it becomes now. It's not they don't even try. It's like you didn't guess the age right. You didn't guess the age right. Yes, you saw this video. You're like, oh my gosh, this little kid. What the? But did you guess the age right? Did you say like she's like 16? And so they start having this battle in your brain. Oh, and this becomes this thing that's nonsensical. It's not even you being interested in this person. Is did you guess the age right of bad baby in this interview? Okay, you say, oh, she's this kid. What did you mean exactly, kid? Kid, like how old as a kid? This is the things. Like how exactly old she was. And as I'm saying that, they try to make me look at her breast in a certain way, try to create something. This look teenage, typical, like she's so typically a teenage kid. The way she talked, like it was just, and they try to say, oh, but did you not maybe think that she has like work done already? But then, like, no, no, she definitely looked like before all that happened, before she changed into, before all the surgery happened. But you understand, they create this. This is the thoughts they want me to identify with. Now, with that being said, I have my neighbors making noises, and they tell me how they're gonna rape me, what they've done to me, what they're gonna do to me. And to all my target individuals, you understand these people. These people are disgusting. This is the life they live. They keep calling me I'm a nothing. If something can do what they do, what kind of something are they? They are the most pathetic human beings, and they don't know it. They used to claim that they were in a war. There's no war, sorry about the language. They're not in a war. They're just in a human experimentation. They just try to gaslight somebody into accepting this persona. They have people like making noise campaign to try to force you to accept these things that they've put together. Neighbors with no shame, no self-respect. And that's why I make these videos, and that's why I have a reality check, because I put things in perspective. As they play with my brain, do their noise campaign, do their listen, I know that the reason why things could get even worse for me is because I continuously put things that they don't want to see. Like I bring them here, like I show them what they are as they try to live this fantasy. Can you imagine 6 in the morning somebody opens the door and try to say something? They call me the Robert, right? Robert for R. Kelly. There's a name they don't like to call, and I'm not gonna say it here, but because the people who put me in this program donated a lot of money to this person, and there was allegation that when he was a DA, he picked up kids as young as 14 years old. So I say, can you say that name, please? They won't, because they know better. Now, it's 6 in the morning. Somebody opens the door and it's like, oh, this is you. And like, I am never gonna give you this fantasy. I will always call out this nonsensicalness, these manipulations of how you try to make me now find something into for bad baby. Even now, today, she's I guess an OnlyFans adult model, which is crazy. She looks not is her. I'm sorry, I do not want to diminish somebody and body shame anybody, but let's just say today I don't find her womanly enough for me to be interested. Now it's maybe just me, right? There's many others who are actually, weirdly enough, are interested. Very many. Never me. She still look like, but with that being said, they're gonna change the narration of that. They're gonna create a different story. They're gonna try to find what they can't change. That's their job. Like I said before, the memory are for them to completely recreate the way they want it. They live in their own creations. There's one thing I remember, and I remember they kind of brought that back in my memory. When I started getting targeted, um, the V2K was in my head, talking, and somebody said that, this is because the V2K person was a woman. Somebody come out and say, hey, listen, this is her world. She can, basically saying she can be whatever she wants you to be, or something like that. And at the time I thought, okay, she can do whatever she wants to me. But what he also meant is they can create the story, the life, the fantasy that they want. That's what basically he was also saying, and this is true. They come up with narrations that they've put together with their manipulation to have everybody around me try to make me accept this narration. So I know if things get even super bad, it's because I didn't let them live in the world they wanted to live in. They have to deal with me saying this is what's happening, and this is how I'm going to experience things. It's disgusting. So to all my target individual, you will be dealing with some nonsensicalness. Be strong. With me now, I think we're getting to the part where it's gonna be a lot more pain, torture, physical torture. I know my organs have been so destroyed, and the more I put things in perspective, they just gave it seems like they gave more energy to do harm to me. So I know pain, torture is coming next. Now, in the midst of making this video, as always, try to change subject. Try to tell me, now you pay for. Listen, these people, as I said, are the scum of the earth. Trash. The horrible things they're involved in, not just for on me, obviously, but others, women and children. This is this is pure nastiness. This They can easily do that to somebody else who's even a woman or a child. I'm 100% sure. I have no doubt, no doubt, and make themselves feel like they're normal people, like suffocating kids and all that. Like this is nothing. And it's funny when I said that they're like, "Oh, I want like this is so childlike." The gaslighting is so childlike. It's so repetitive. I'm like, no wonder why they use people like this. It's such obvious childlike. Man, it's almost like it's supposed to agitate me. So to all my target individual, these people are the same people who try to tell you who you are. Don't let them create this fantasy, this narrations they've created for themselves. This is what they wish was true. When they try to vilify you, remember, there's a reason why they try to distance that from what this program does to women and children. These people do horrible things. Horrible. I mean, they're here in people's brain trying to make them think in this pedophilia ways. So you understand this is not. They easily can do this thing to women. So be strong. To all my target individual, stay strong. Don't fall for this narration, this stupidity, these dialogues they create to create a conflict, a back and forth is all manipulation. Even if you don't, if even your brain is just like going with what they manipulate, is what they can create in your brain. Reality is that they want you to accept this narration, and they're going to be making noise campaign. I have neighbors, never seen them on the balcony since like a summer, 2 summers ago. Right now it's like super early in the morning. That's when they're very brave and go come outside and start saying things. So to all my target individual, stay strong.